Hello, ladies, and welcome back to another episode of Perspectives with Sherry. I am your host, Sherry Ryan, and this evening we are so blessed to have an amazing guest with us, Miss Precious Monèt. Um,
Hello, how are you?
I am so wonderful, and again, I am just like super excited to talk to you this evening. I have been, those that watch know that I am big on finding your purpose, walking in it, and what that means, for you. And particularly this platform is geared toward women in midlife. And so my thing is always that statistically, we have more life behind us than we do in front of us. So I'm always talking about being intentional in all that we do. And I'm seriously serious about helping others and sharing with others how wonderful it is when you do discover your purpose and you're walking in it. So, this episode is huge for me, for the show, and for the audience. So, thank you so much, Precious.
Well, look, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited for us today to connect and get through what we have to share with the audience.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, quick admin stuff to get out of the way. If you're new over here, welcome. Over here is a very safe place for women in midlife, and we talk all things health, wealth, and empowerment, and all the wonderful things that feed into those three categories. And so tonight is no different. I am going to give you some background info on our guest, Precious Monèt, and then, y'all, we're going to get right into this interview. So, ladies, Precious Monèt is a powerful powerhouse speaker. She's a life coach. She's an HR consultant and an author, committed to empowering women across the globe. As the founder of BHS Consulting Firm, she helps businesses close talent gaps and build purpose driven, profitable teams. There's that word, y'all, purpose. Her own journey through hardship shaped her passion for self mastery and success. Known as the purpose pusher, Precious inspires others to overcome fear, walk boldly in their calling, and create lasting impact. With her sharp insights, strategic mindset, and undeniable presence, she's a trailblazer committed to driving real change. And we are honored to have her here on Perspectives with Sherry. So,
Well, I am so blessed to be here. Thank you for the introduction. Thank you so much, Sherry. Looking forward to us connecting.
yes, yes, me too. So, we're going to not belay it anymore. We're going to get right into it. So, Precious, let's start with your story. Can you share with us who Precious Monèt is and the journey that led you to this place of purpose and passion?
Absolutely. I am Precious Monet, the purpose pusher. And what that really means is I am someone that truly is passionate about pushing others into their purpose. That is my calling. Now, mind you, it always was not always my calling. At one point, I was running from my calling based on experiences and things that happened through life. So for me, it goes back to, we all experience some type of letdown, some type of betrayal, some type of hurt. And as I was going through some of those transitions, I actually became so upset to the point where I used the word hate. I hated women because I felt like everywhere I faced, I was disappointed. People would stab me in the back, when I was in the corporate world. People will create things that will jeopardize my employment, and it got to a point where I'm like, I am done with women. I'm over it. Not realizing that I needed to take that time out for myself, do the self work, lean into God, and then really realizing like the people that I'm running from are the people I need to pour into. Because
Mm,
oftentimes we have to be so many different people and so many different versions of ourselves before we actually truly settle into who we are and whose we are and what we are
mhm.
truly passionate about.
That's powerful. Okay. Yes, yes. I love that. And so, my next question, Precious, many women struggle with knowing their true purpose. That's a huge thing, and I did for a long time. What advice would you give to someone who's trying to figure that out? And how did you recognize your own purpose? And you talked a little bit about it, but maybe a little bit more insight into that.
Absolutely. Well, one, fear, right? We got to get over fear. We got to get to the root of what is causing us to prevent ourselves to be really fulfilled in life, right? One of my
Mhm.
fears was I was a fearless success. Like I didn't want to be successful to the point where I'm uncomfortable. Because in my personal life, I'm actually an introvert. I'm quiet, I'm to myself, but when I'm interacting with people, I get excited. So for me, the challenge is one is failure of success. And then on the
Mhm.
flip side, failure of failure, right? I had to go
Mm.
through a couple different businesses and fail at those businesses for me to realize it's not a failure, it's a redirection, right? God, that
Mm.
wasn't God's
Yes.
plan for me, so I needed to be redirected. So every time I kept running from my purpose, I was redirected. And I
Mm.
think what I want the audience to really resonate with is one, get to the root of what you are fearful of and then
Okay.
take action, right? Whether it's an accountability partner, whether it's a mentor, whether it's a coach, whatever works for you, you need help. You need someone to be able to help you get through that fear and that anxiety. For me, at one point, I suffered from anxiety. I really that's why I wrote one of my books, as far as free yourself from yourself, really giving people
Mm.
the tools and the resources on how to overcome that. Now, is it completely gone away? No, I still have my moments. I'm human, but I know now how to better pivot when I'm
Yeah.
faced with something that I'm uncomfortable with. And I think that's the first step is really identifying what is holding you back, what are you fearful for, and why not?
Yes, I love that. I also love how you said not failure, but redirection. Y'all catch that catch that gem. So much of what you said resonated, but that stuck out to me. Um, okay, my next question is you've talked about the importance of walking in authenticity. What does it mean to truly be yourself in a world that often pressures us to conform?
Well, one, I know we use this word so often, right? Being authentic, being our authentic self. But really, if you sit there and reflect on yourself, are you
Mhm.
being authentic or are you trying to keep up with the world? Are you trying to keep
Mm.
up with the Joneses?
Right.
Authentic to me is you are unapologetically being yourself, setting boundaries, building relationships that align with your value, right? You're not connecting with people just to benefit. You're not connecting people just to go through the motions, but really building solid foundation relationships that
Mhm.
align with your calling, align with your purpose, your values, and your mission. And I think the important thing is when you're building those relationships, you have those boundaries are key
Ooh,
because if you don't
yes.
set boundaries in place, people will take advantage of you if you're that nice person. I used to be that go with the flow person.
Mhm.
Back in the days, I just went with the flow, but no, I had to learn the hard way. That's just not me. So for me to be authentic, I should be able to voice my opinions respectfully,
Right.
right? And don't be offended if I might rub somebody the wrong way. I know my intentions. My intentions are pure. I might be a little blunt. I might be a little rough around the edges, but that's me. I'm not going to apologize for being me.
That's
And I
right.
realized that when you don't show up as yourself, you're showing up as a representative, and that
Mhm.
representative is going to fade over time. It's going to be hard to keep up with. So you're
Mhm.
better off being yourself, walking in that authenticity, and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to walk in that authenticity.
Mhm. Mhm. I love that. I love that. All right. Now, so though we're talking about, and this could apply to anything, but we are carrying our theme over from July into middle of August, which was the heart of it all. We were talking about relationships, rebuilding, reimagining, reconnecting. So this question I'm going to ask you is about love, seeking love, but it could also apply to other things. And so the question is sometimes women fall into the trap of performing for love or constantly seeking validation from others. Can you speak to that and how you personally move beyond needing to be chosen by others. That's a big
Ooh,
one.
that's a good one. That's a good one. Oftentimes we seek validation, right? We want someone to, hey, look, recognition and validation are two completely different things. It's
Hard.
okay to recognize me. Hey, great job, what you did, versus feeling the need for someone to tell me I did a good job. So let's clarify that, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
I think it's important when it comes to building relationships. Again, I'm going back to the boundaries because that's so important.
Hmm.
One, you have to be in relationships, whether it's relationships, friendships, situationships. You have to have boundaries to the point where you both respect each other.
Right.
Respecting each other, not only as a person, but respecting that other person's boundaries. It's okay, like again, to feel okay to get recognition, but you got to get to the point where, and I know for me, because I was a people pleaser back in the day,
Yeah.
when I started, I wanted to make sure everybody was pleased, everybody is good. It is exhausting.
Yes,
And
it
I had
is,
to
honey.
learn the hard way again. I took the word loyalty to heart. I am such a loyal person, but
Same.
loyalty does not mean you cannot release, right? I had to learn that it's okay to release certain relationships and still be loyal from a distance.
Hmm.
So don't take loyalty to the heart to the point where you feel like you're still doing for others and you're creating a disadvantage for yourself.
Hmm. Hmm. I love that. No, good. And I can relate. So I was that people pleaser too. So in this season of life, yeah, I've learned to let some of that go and understand some of those concepts. So I'm glad you mentioned it that way.
Right, it's a
Um,
whole other season. I mean, when I
oh,
say boundaries, it is if I'm not feeling it, if the vibe is not there, I'm not doing it. It is all about me. It might sound selfish, but it's all about me. If it ain't about me and the Lord, that's it.
amen. Amen. And I think so many of us struggle with the guilt of doing that. There it should be no guilt in boundaries. If you really love yourself, where is the guilt? And honey, this is from someone that had to read book after book, pray, meditate. It took me a long time to feel okay with setting boundaries. So
Right.
when I get it, ladies, but you really you need to. In order to get to your next level, you gotta put those in place. Yeah, that was big. In keeping with the theme, this is another relationship dating question. Burnout in dating, in work, in life, it's real. What signs did you notice when you were out of alignment, and how did you shift back into your purpose and joy? It's another one,
Mm, you already said it, exhaustion, right? You
right?
will burn yourself out trying to juggle so many different things. And I had to learn the hard way that, that saying most people say, like, I'll sleep when I die. No, I'm trying to
Mm,
sleep while I'm alive.
okay.
I learned the hard way because I actually got sick. Because I kept
Mm,
going, my body just shut down. And to get that scare when your health is impacted, that
mhm.
was my reality check. Like, okay, not only do I need to set boundaries, I need to set expectations for myself. So I
Absolutely.
created, space to make sure that every morning I wake up, I have my quiet time with God. That's reading my Bible, worshiping, meditating. And then I have something called transitional periods. Throughout my day, whatever I'm doing, like
Mhm,
for example, when I get off this interview, I'm going to take that transitional period, whether it's 10 minutes, whether it's 20 minutes, to decompress before I go into another activity. But I think
mhm.
time management is so important. I'm a firm believer that you make time for the things you want to make time for, but you got to be able to manage it to the point where you can balance it all. It's possible. We all have the same amount of hours in the day. It's all
It's
about
true.
how you use it. So if I got to schedule me transitional periods throughout the day so I can have a healthy balance, if I got to schedule a rest time or a rest period for me to have a healthy balance, that is what I do.
That is important. Yeah. That's huge. That was good. That was really good. That's another gem, ladies. Pick it up. Okay, so Precious, my next question. There's a popular saying that you have to fix yourself first before finding love or success. What's your take on this mindset? Does healing have to be complete before we pursue dreams or relationships?
Absolutely, 100%. And I don't know about fix, right? I'm all
Right.
about doing the inner work. right?
Mhm.
Getting to the root cause of what traumas, triggers, like if you can identify that within yourself, that's a problem. Like, let's start there. If you're able to identify them, then what are you doing about it? How are you going to get over this trauma? How are you going to pivot when you are triggered, right? I used to
Mhm.
be that individual go from 0 to 10 in a minute, but I had to learn how to pivot. Like, okay, this situation is elevating for me, and I need to remove myself from this situation. And I will circle back with you, hey, in another 20 minutes or whatever amount of time that I feel like I need. So
Mhm.
it's important that we really take that time to do the inner work in really identifying the things that, again, trigger trauma. And once we do identify, taking action, because a lot of
Mhm.
times if we don't take action, we feel stuck. And when we
Mhm.
feel stuck, we don't move. And when we don't move, we become complacent. When we become complacent, we don't even realize how much time has passed and how those things impact our daily life, impact
Mhm.
our relationships, our friendships. And
Mm.
after you do the inner work and you actually take action, life becomes, I'm not saying perfect, but life
Right.
becomes a little bit more relaxed to the point where you can make better decisions in life,
Mhm.
better
Mhm.
relationships, right? Get
Right.
forming those solid foundation relationships. I think now the world we live in today, we have a lot of surface relationships. What about
Right.
back in the days when, especially in dating, used to be on the phone for like hours on top of hours.
Right.
Now it's like these drive-by speed dating. Like, you, depending on whatever relationship you want, I know for me, I want solid
Yes.
foundation relationships around me.
Right. Right. I agree. I agree. Yeah. No, that was good. That was really good. Yes. In this day and age, honey, you have to invest the time. If that's what if you want something with some depth to it, you got to give it that depth time. So I'm with you. That was an amazing response. Um, so my next question, and this is a good one as well. What role has faith or spirituality played in your journey to purpose and healing and
Ooh,
of your day? Yeah.
you just hit me with all the good questions.
I'm
Okay.
trying.
So when it comes to faith, remember that time period I was running from my purpose at one point.
Yes.
And I found myself every time I've run, some way the Lord God has made me either fall flat on my face, redirected me, and for me to finally realize, I mean, after a period of time, you're gonna realize you're gonna have to give in. You're gonna have to
Mhm.
lean into the Lord. You're gonna have to strengthen your faith. And you also have to do the work, right? Again, faith without works is dead. Not only do
Wrong.
you read the Bible, but you got to live it, right? Now,
Mhm.
nowhere am I near perfect, but I am striving every day to do the right thing, to lean into God, and for Him to give me the discernment to make the right decisions.
Mhm. Yes. Yes. Me too. Okay. And so, next question for women in midlife who feel like it's too late to start over or dream again, what would you say to encourage them?
It's never too late. It is never too
Mhm.
late. I'm telling you
Amen.
now, again, I had several businesses that did not take off the way I wanted it to take off. And I pride myself on persistence, right? If I were to give up the minute something did not go wrong, right? What do I feel like I would have a fulfilled life today? No,
Mm.
absolutely not. So whether you are feeling stuck, whether you feeling like, hey, I'm in my 50s, it's too late, it's never too late. You just have
Mm.
to take action.
Right.
Whatever God has for you is for you. He is waiting on you to take action. And when you take that action and start to feel fulfilled and flourish, it doesn't matter how old you are or how much time has passed. You are going to live a fulfilled life, but you have got to do the work. God is
Mhm.
waiting on you.
That was good and powerful, ladies. Did y'all catch that? Yeah, I mean, you just got to take that first step. And I always say, I used to always pray, like, God, give me the ability and exceedance to what I can do. And then something said, and it was the Holy Spirit was like, sure, I've already equipped you with everything you need. You don't have to ask me to do in exceedance. You got it. You got it. And so do you, ladies. You got it. And that's what she's telling you. Take that step. God's already got you equipped for it. You just gotta move, take that action. So Precious, that was good.
Exactly. That purpose is already in you. You need to know how to
Right?
pull it out. And again, you might need someone to help you pull it out. Look, a coach need a coach. I might be a
Yep.
coach, but I have a coach
Right?
because you need someone to be able to invest in you to help you get you where you are. Besides God, you might need a mentor. You might need
Mhm.
that accountability partner. We're all human. So not only
Right.
do you need to work, but you need to make sure you're building the right connections as well.
Mm, that's right. That's right. That's good. So I wanted to ask you this. What are some daily practices or mindset shifts that help you stay grounded and focused on your purpose? And you did a mention about setting your time for like your decompressing and, what are some of your other daily practices that you put into place to help you stay grounded?
So those are my two major things is my quiet time every
Mm,
morning. Now the time may not be the same. Sometimes it's 4 o'clock, sometimes it's 5 o'clock. Hey, if I ain't got nothing going on, it might be 7 o'clock. But I have
right.
to set the tone and be intentional about my day, which is spending that time with God, reading my Bible, meditating and worshiping. It has gotten to the point that I've done it so long that if so happen I get caught up and miss a day, I am thrown off for the whole day.
Mm,
I will
yeah.
physically not feel good. And I'm sitting here wondering, like, what's going on with me? Well, I'm a little
Yeah.
anxious and not realize I miss my quiet time. Everything comes
Hmm.
to a stop, and I need to do my quiet time because that sets the tone, the atmosphere, the flow, the mindset. So once I
Yeah.
am done, I'm in the mindset of like, okay, I'm good, I'm calm, I'm ready to take this day on. Lord, what do you have for me today? Order my steps.
I
And then
love it.
again, important for me those transitional periods because I don't want to get so caught up that the whole day goes by me and I have not taken that transitional period. Again, it might be 10 minutes, might be 20 minutes just to sit, decompress, especially
Mm,
as a coach, right? As a life coach,
right.
we take a lot in. We take a lot in off of our clients, and it might be sitting on our shoulders. And if we don't take that time to decompress before we transition to someone else, we may not realize what energy we're carrying.
That's a very, very good point. Very good point. Um, Now, before I get into what things you have coming up, how we can connect with you and support you, there's something I had come across an article that was it was an interview, but it was in an article format um, of yourself, and you was talking about. And this is a bonus question, and you were talking about how women how we are when we don't find our own purpose, like when we're struggling with getting within our own calling or whatever. And you said that one of those words, and it stood out to me because this is a real thing, ladies, that jealousy can occur when you are not focusing on finding, like I did a I'm trying to be intentional about doing more Instagram posts, but one of mine were was about a sermon that I heard many years ago that has never left. It was mind your own business, use your own gifts, and carry your own cross. Right?
Love
Powerful,
it.
powerful, right? And it was something that resonated because I know that in seasons I've had, we talked about in the beginning your story, your struggle with women, and that's something that I want to talk about because this platform is primarily for women, and we need to be more supportive, but we need to understand when you have those feelings of jealousy where you could be out of alignment. And so, can you talk a little bit about that, where how that can creep in if you're not being about your own business,
Absolutely. I love that. Love, mind your business, and I'm a mind mine. But
right?
when it comes to that, it's look, jealousy, enviness, competitiveness, that spirit has got to go. Look, we live in a world where, again, these commonalities when it comes to women supporting women. But if you really reflect, are you really supporting another woman? Like, are you
Mm,
really being positive and uplifting? Or are you
right,
secretly trying to benefit? Are you secretly trying to connive? Are you secretly? I mean, I have had people literally come into my community, learned what they needed to learn, copied me, and took their business. And like, look, hey, that's not a problem, but the way you did it is how
right,
you did it. I would give you all of what you needed to start your own
right,
thing, but we have to get into an alignment, right? Where we are truly women supporting women and not with these jealous, like, who cares what Tasha doing versus what Becky doing over here. If you are walking in your divine calling, if you're doing what God has told you to do, it does not matter what
Mm.
anybody else is doing on this planet Earth.
That's right. That's right. That is so powerful. And I wanted to drill that in because that's another thing that I think as women we need to sometimes do a self check. And if you're feeling some of that, ask God, like, oh, wait a minute, I'm off here. Lord, correct me and put me on the path that I'm supposed to be on. I don't need to be worrying about what she's doing over there. So thank you for that. That was great. So now,
I
Precious,
like
I
what you
always
said
say,
too.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I like what you said, self-check, right? Self-check is so important. And not only do you need a self-check, you need to surround yourself with people that will check you. Like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
be that friend, like, look, seems like you're a
Yes.
little jealous. You like, got a little jealousy in your spirit. Let's talk about it. You gotta surround yourself around people like that. So I love the fact you brought up that self-check, but you also need to make sure that you are surrounding yourself with people that have boundaries that's comfortable with checking you. Check
Yeah.
me, please do.
Right. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Ladies, surround yourself with those good sister girlfriends that love you enough to tell you the truth and can check you when you need it. That is important. Also, a very good point, Precious. Um, Now we come to the time where I like to ask my guest, how can the audience find you, support you? What projects do you have coming up? I know that you have a few books that are available right now on Amazon, so I want you to talk about those and just tell us how we can find you, support you, and all the things.
Absolutely. Thank you. As the Precious Monet, the Purpose Pusher, you can connect with me, all things Precious Monet. Website, preciousmonet.com. That's MONET.com. You can get me on Instagram. I am Precious Monet. But if you want to know all things about the Purpose Pusher, you can go to preciousmonet.com.
Okay. Okay. And I will definitely, y'all, have that pinned in a comment for those that are watching on YouTube. And for those that are listening, all that information will be in the show notes. So now let me say again, Precious, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to be intentional and be
That
here.
part.
Yes, and be here with myself and the audience this evening. Do you have any closing words before we close out this amazing interview? And it has been amazing. So thank you for that.
Look, again, thank you so much for having me. It was indeed an amazing interview. My last thing I want to leave the audience with is to really think not only about your purpose, but my favorite quote that I've created is life without purpose is no life at all. So
Ooh,
marinate on that.
ooh, love it. All right, ladies. You got that last gem. Pick it up. I always love to end with this. Ladies, thank you for watching. And always remember to continue to feed your health, build your wealth, and keep walking in power. Until our next episode, ladies. Good night.